Hello, my fellow patriots. This is Alex with Disabled Vets Perspective. I know I haven't been on in a couple of days. Some people are going, "Oh, what happened to you?" I'm here. Lisa's had a busy week this week. Um, Appointment yesterday, which turned out to be very good. Um, she had an endoscopy done where they looked at her stomach and her throat, and her esophagus, and basically her upper intestine, since the cancer that she's dealing with is basically right in the middle. She had a potential of damage to other organs because of their location. So she had this test done, and morning. The test was good. Everything's good. Her guts are nice and pink the way they're supposed to be. There's no burn marks, no tissue damage. So everything there is good. We keep getting good results from these tests. So the prayers that you guys send are so greatly appreciated. There's no way to express my gratitude to be able to get it out enough. I mean, you have walked us through the valley of death and brought us back to the other side. So it's amazing. Anyway, so today she's got her appointment for her infusion for immunotherapy, so that's going to be done. It is possible that I might try to sneak up live. You just got to watch for me. Um, I'm I got a couple things I got to do when they take her back, so I don't know if I'll be able to get it done or not. But anyway, all is going well so far. All right, to the subject matter. Now, got a lot of people that are doubtful that things are happening because you keep hearing Biden inauguration this and Biden presidency that, and all I can tell you is you gotta relax a little bit. A little known fact. I try to introduce you to the original Constitution, the one that existed prior to 1871. Well, a lot of things were done to our Constitution at that time that will be put back because they removed amendments, they added one, and they basically just rearranged everything to fit their corporation, including the inauguration date. Surprise! The inauguration date of the presidency was not January 20th. That was added. That was created out of their imagination under the corporation. It probably has to do with something like the fiscal year or the end of the tax season or something. I'm sure it has something to do with the big bankers. So that is just not the date. March 4th in the original Constitution is the inauguration day of the new president. So it doesn't matter what happens on January 20th. And here's an interesting little tidbit. It doesn't matter if the president of the corporation gets seated on the 20th of January, and that would be Biden. Okay? Because you can't exist in an entity that has been dissolved. The Constitution is back. The prior to 1871 Constitution is being resurrected, which means they can do their inauguration and they play all their games and do all of that, but all they're doing is they're putting their people back into their corporate positions. Well, the corporation being dissolved means that these are shadow entities within an institution that no longer exists. So you gotta learn a little bit about how the country was built, how the original Constitution was created, some of the amendments that were removed. You can still find this stuff, but you have to take the time to really look into it. If you've noticed, I'm not nervous. I'm really not. I don't get worked up because I know what's going on. And just so you know, they're up to 20,000 troops in D.C. now, with an expectation of up to 30,000. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think you need that many troops to bring somebody in who's supposed to be the most popular person that ever ran as a president. So, people would be bowing and licking his shoes and doing all that stuff, I guess, is what they're assuming. So why would you want to have 30,000 troops? Oh, that's right, because they're not done fighting yet. They still have some twin foxtrots they want to try to do. And that reminds me again that on the 17th, and notice the convenient number, the 17th, that they're going to be doing this armed, what are they, armed something rather, the riot. Can't think. I had a dog barking. But the riots, the protests they're going to have on the 17th. And they want all the Trump supporters to show up armed at their state capitals. And if you can't see false flag written all over that, you're not looking hard enough. But I'm telling you, stay the hell away from them. And here's logic to think about why you don't want to be doing an armed protest. Why, if it came down to it and we had to do patriot shit, why would everybody gather and present all of their capabilities in one big group? That makes no sense. You don't do that. If you ever had to do patriot shit, you would never stand a chance on a head-to-head. So it would require doing guerrilla tactics, which means part of that is never showing your opponent what you're capable of. So the whole thing stinks. Stay the hell away from the capitals on the 17th. There's nothing good in it for you. They're going to be using their facial recognition. They're going to be identifying weaponry. They're going to do everything that they have to do to make sure that they can get the upper hand. So stay away from it. Do your thing. But, all right. So anyway, next thing I want to talk about is I've been watching the Congress doing their impeachment thing. And I know I'm not the only student in the class that can observe the fact that the House rather, on Republican and Democrat side, that sumbitch is empty as hell. And I watched C-SPAN the first day of their deliberation when they were trying to push the article of the 25th Amendment, and that got shot down. But right before they started, Nancy Pelosi had to come up there and seat herself in the chair. She gavelled the session in, and then she recessed it. As soon as she recessed it, she didn't return. And every time I see her now moving through the White House, not the White House, the Capitol building, she's surrounded by federal marshals. Why do you suppose that is? Federal marshals in the Capitol? I thought they had their own Capitol Police for security. So what I'm doing is I'm throwing logic out there so that you think about what's going on. It's not going to be on the surface. If you are in a situation where you are trying to take down an enemy that has the control of all the media and all of the sources of information, you want to do it pretty quietly, because you don't want them to be able to take off with a narrative and start swaying the opinion of people that are not educating themselves on the actual facts. So you just have to look at this stuff. But again, going back to C-SPAN, before they started their session, the acting speaker that was interim, I guess they put her in place to be the speaker for that point, they swore in 2 representatives, and these are called alternates, okay? Why would you have to swear in representatives when all of that was supposed to be done? What was it on the what was that, 20th of December, something like that? Anyway, they swore everybody in at one time to their seats in the House, and they started their new Congress. Well, if that was the case, then you don't have to swear in alternates. The only reason you have to do that is if somebody's not there anymore. So somebody has been removed and been replaced. But just the fact the whole place is empty, and then you have representatives getting up there and under Title 1, Section 8, I hereby represent such and such for the state of California, and their vote was yes. When the hell have you ever heard that happen? The last I heard, when you have the major votes like impeachment, you have to have everybody there. When did we allow the representatives to represent other representatives and vote on their behalf? Makes no sense. And this is what I'm talking about, using logic to put it together. So I don't know what to tell you. If you're still bummed out, all I can say is just relax, because things are still happening. And stay away from the Capitol buildings. Let the military do their thing. Which brings me to this last little tidbit. For my psychotic members of my Anti-Fay, I just want to remind you, I saw something on a video on DC where a group of them came up and started razzing the National Guard and the Army that were there. Well, right now, the National Guard and the military are working in a police capacity, okay, which is an indication that the Insurrection Act was signed, but too many people don't believe that yet. But the Antifa were, harassing the National Guard. But one thing that I need to remind these guys is that rules of engagement for military are not the same as police. You cannot manhandle a military man. They will put you down. You can yell at them. I mean, we all learn how to be yelled at like professionals in basic training. If you can't handle being yelled at, then you in trouble. But don't touch them, because they will put you down. They do not have to tolerate it. They do not have to follow the rules of engagement of a police officer. There's a totally different set of rules for the military. So if you guys want to do something stupid and you think you can go grab a National Guardman or military guy and, beat him up, good luck, because you're going to get hurt. And you need to understand that. They do not have to stand down like a police officer does once you have reached a neutral position. They can still pile drive your ass. So you guys just keep messing with the military, and we'll just see what happens. Anyway, I got to get ready to go take Lisa to her appointment. And like I said, I'll try to come up live. But if not, maybe I can get something done this afternoon, because I know some people want to hear about some of this stuff. Anyway, y'all got to stay in this fight. Give me a thumbs up when you're on the way out the door. Tell your friends about me. Please share the video. My channel is blowing up right now, which is putting me on the radar of their tube. So make sure you hit my other links in my description below. My DLive, my Bitchute, my WeGo, different ones. Just make sure you can keep up with me, because they're going to make it hard, I'm sure. All right, so that's what I got. Make sure y'all stay in the fight.